From the 5th of the 2nd month of 1443, 19 The Sun, reversed 6 of Presence, and 9 The Hermit, with 10 of Presence, and 7 the Chariot in between. Enter the haunted house to find the joy in the shocking discoveries. This life can and should be enjoyed, and it is okay to quench some wanting. Relief is found by the favorable completion, but more abundance is for the living. Action was not enough. Even as a boy or girl, options needed more determining. By these processes, may we no longer be waiting upon internal mysteries. And what is your initial thoughts on those cards? And
I feel and see, let's see, happiness and bliss, like traveling to a feast or traveling to a gathering, a get-together. Right there, I see bliss and happiness.
Enter the haunted house to find the joy and the shocking discoveries. Now, whether it's a little kid on a horse, or whether it's a boy and a girl at a lower elevation than a wall, it's more or less the same thing. You let kids be kids and all that. And of course, that's a very iconic card. So the liberation, well, the joy through knowledge, I guess, is a way to put that. Rather than liberation through joy, it's joy through knowledge.
Yeah.
As that specific card.
Yeah, knowledge can bring wisdom and joy
and these ghosts going around with their presence. Of course, one of the things people got to realize is these spirits can convince humans to physically incarnate certain things, or convince us to believe in stuff to the point where we feel certain things, but it's not quite the same thing as summoning up some spirit to move your furniture or some nonsense like that. As much as they point at that, if you just spend $500 on our video course, you will see for the first time ever actual materialization of spirits. And it's like,
or kind of like maybe a seance, you know, the little trickster things telling you stuff that might not be.
This life can and should be enjoyed, and it is okay to quench some wanting. Relief is found by the favorable completion, but more abundance is for the living. Oh, it's that weird striped snake thing, and there's a little snake here. And oh well, no, I guess it's a little group of snakes. Like you go into your hiding, and then you find out your issues you have to deal with. Like if you've ever done a retreat, and it's like, I didn't know I was attracted to that person. You find out 2 days after being locked up in some, not locked up, but you can leave anytime, but you know what I mean.
Right.
And it's not all, I guess that's something that maybe people would understand, but it's like, because you feel like, okay, you feel like stepping out of the temple room to pray, not to pray, not, because, well, that's why you're there. What am I thinking? Like to comb your hair or something that you would normally do, but you never stay out
Right.
for that. And so those little things, then you can kind of figure out some other stuff. And like there's, and if, if you don't do this stuff right, you're just wandering off into the wilderness to be alone. And then all sorts of stuff can happen that's not really what you want.
Yeah.
Breakthrough to understanding and knowing that there is these parts or these beings or something, that's one thing, but
That's the
so
card I saw.
relief is
Travel.
found by the favorable completion, but more abundance is for the living. And we already got that one, didn't we? Action is not enough, so this is the most memorable thing. This is where the meme comes from for the program. This Chariot card. Even as a boy or girl, options needed more determining. Well, that's what went wrong. It's that he needed more of a plan than just, I'm going to go out and do it.
Right.
That's where things went wrong. They would do that. They would that just like Jesus and Muhammad, maybe Buddha and some others, because the Buddhists killed more. There was millions of people killed by the Buddhists, sort of because of their conquering and stuff like this. So they're not quite the group that, the Buddhists are super passive. They'd rather light themselves on fire than, why do you think they learn martial arts?
Right.
By these processes, may we no longer be waiting upon internal mysteries. So we got the snake, and like the presents or like and stuff is still on the tree, but of course, in the movie the snake moves, and then it's everything flies off, including the bats and
Yeah. I feel a movement in the snake. The bat.
well, the
snake.
Hermit card, Mr. Snaky here, he's grumbly because he or maybe he's just pleased to be out there and people, yay!
Happy to get away. He's happy to get away from the people.
Like I got a program coming out in December. I think it's December, and this guy is like, this guy was, see, I don't think that it was approached right, but see that, it wasn't approached right from the beginning because this guy pretended he had no desires. And then one of the most attractive women around is working working the monastery, and things went really bad. And I don't just mean, because it wasn't her mistake, but then she was trained this nonsense that, hey, if someone makes a mistake upon you and victimizes you, hey, that's not give up on life and everything else. That's not, but that's how she was trained. And eventually she kind of comes back. But, if you don't deal, if you just pretend you don't have stuff, like, remember, have you ever seen that stuff on Bundy or whoever, they tried to drink away their problems and it actually got worse. They're like, yeah, I just have to suppress this urge. And it's like, no, but when you're an alcoholic, as in physically addicted, then, then it was even worse. And then people criticize, like, that they pull up this nonsense about that sort of thing, that they're like, if Dahmer wasn't, no, Dahmer took full-on responsibility. He wasn't like, if only I didn't encounter the following types of pornography as a young boy or a young teenager going around, whatever, and I would have never done. No, Dahmer didn't pull that stuff. Bundy actually kind of didn't pull that stuff. Bundy's like, okay, here's how it happened, but he was responsible for it. You disassociate and stuff like this. You feel like, because it puts you in sort of a feud, because it's like you've become this monster and you don't want to be this monster, but it's still, it's still Bundy. He's he knew what he did. And
Okay. It is.
honestly, the church, honestly, being part of a church that kind of tried to prompt him towards behaving himself,
Mhm.
that helped him. It didn't hurt his situation. That actually helped him a bit. And I think this is going to be the only thing for today. So if you want to take the last minute to bring something up,
Okay. Hmm. Just yeah, I felt feasts in the cards, feasts, traveling to feasts, and just all around movement. And let's hope for a good time.
well, you look at those ghost things.
Traveling.
You know, they talk about something G spiritual leader dinners or whatever. You know, so there's spiritual presences, you could say.